Big news for Baldur's Gate 3 just came out. Patch 8 will be released in 2025 and will be the last major patch for Baldur's Gate 3. And the patch has some pretty exciting stuff in it. It'll have an extensive photo mode with a lot of different settings, frames, and even stickers. It'll also have crossplay for PS5, Xbox, PC, and even Mac. Finally, and this will be the biggest change, 12 new subclasses. All 12 classes will receive one new subclass from D&D 5th edition, but with a lot of new homebrew changes from Larian. Here's what we know about each subclass, along with my thoughts and predictions. Bards will receive the College of Glamour. Use your bardic inspiration to take on a Mantle of Inspiration, which will grant your allies 5 temporary hit points and charm enemies that attack you. You can then target charmed enemies and use the command spell on them for free. In 5th edition, these temporary hit points scaled with level, so hopefully they'll scale in Baldur's Gate 3 as well. Barbarians will receive the Path of Giants. You'll receive a passive buff called Giant's Rage, which grants both strength and size, allowing you to deal additional damage with throw attacks and increasing your carrying capacity. Interestingly enough, there's a small line for Giant's Rage saying that you'll no longer need to chug potions to pump up your muscles. So, Giant's Rage might set your strength to a high value, like the Elixirs of Giant Strength do. Either way, I expect Tavern Brawler Thrilled weapon builds to make use of this new subclass. Clerics will receive the Death Domain. You'll receive 3 new Necromancy cantrips, one of which is the Toll the Dead cantrip, which deals 1d8 necrotic damage to uninjured targets, or 1d12 necrotic damage to injured targets. There's also the new homebrewed ability to explode nearby corpses to damage enemies. In 5th edition, the Death Domain's main ability was that they could target 2 creatures with 1 Necromancy cantrip if both targets were within 5 feet of each other. I expect something similar for Baldur's Gate 3. Also, although Larian didn't mention the other 2 Necromancy cantrips, the only other 2 Necromancy cantrips in 5th edition that aren't in Baldur's Gate 3 are the Spare the Dying cantrip and the Sapping Sting cantrip. So, either those 2 cantrips will be put in the game, or Larian will homebrew their own Necromancy cantrips. Either way, it'll be exciting. Druids will receive the Circle of Stars. You'll be able to transform into one of 3 starry forms, the constellations of the Archer, Chalice, or Dragon. The Archer will allow you to deal radiant damage with astral arrows, and, if they're following how it worked in 5th edition, these arrows will be shot with a bonus action. The Chalice will restore hit points to you and allies nearby. The Dragon will allow you to deal damage with an added bonus to Constitution rolls. In 5th edition, the Circle of Stars also gave the Guidance cantrip and a bunch of free castings of Guiding Bolt. Hopefully, we'll see that in Baldur's Gate 3 as well. Paladins will receive the Oath of the Crown. Guide allies into battle with Righteous Clarity, taunt enemies with Strategic Interruptions, and keep your party standing with Divine Allegiance, redirecting damage they take to yourself. Larian didn't give much specific info on this new class, but we can look at 5th edition for hints. Righteous Clarity might be similar to Turn the Tide, which allows you to expend a Channel Divinity to heal your allies nearby if they're below half health. Strategic Interruptions might be similar to the Champion's Challenge, where you compel nearby enemies to a challenge which forces them to always be within 30 feet of you. Divine Allegiance probably remains the same as it does in 5th edition, redirecting damage that nearby allies take onto yourself. Larian will probably make some homebrew changes to these abilities to make them better fit the game, so we can only wait and see. Fighters will receive the Arcane Archer. Inflict new conditions and effects on enemies with arcane shots. Maybe you'll temporarily banish foes from the battlefield for a turn, or maybe you'll unleash psychic damage and blind them. In 5th edition, Arcane Archers were pretty underwhelming since they could only use 2 arcane shots per short rest. But it looks like Larian is increasing this amount to at least 4 arcane shots per short rest based on the gift they provided. If you look here, after using an arcane shot, the resource counter goes from 4 to 3. If that's the case, the Arcane Archer might be stronger than the Battle Master. Arcane shots are much more powerful than Battle Master maneuvers, but Arcane Archers only get 2 uses of arcane shots per short rest, while Battle Masters get 4 uses of Battle Master maneuvers per short rest. If Larian increases arcane shot usage to 4 uses per short rest, Arcane Archers will be much more powerful. Monks will receive the Drunken Master. You'll be able to consume alcohol straight from your inventory to recover ki and share the bottle with enemies using Intoxicating Strike. This will generate a buff to your AC and increase your chance to hit drunk targets. Drunk targets will also be susceptible to the Drunken Master's other abilities, like Sobering Realization, which sobers up drunk targets and deals physical and psychic damage. This version of the Drunken Master looks absolutely nothing like 5th edition's. It looks like it has a lot more going on for it, which makes me excited to play it. Rangers will receive the Swarm Keeper. You'll have 3 different types of deadly swarms to help you in combat. The Cloud of Jellyfish deals lightning damage and potentially shocks your enemies. The Flurry of Moths deals psychic damage and potentially blinds your enemies. The Legion of Bees deals piercing damage and potentially knocks your enemies back 15 feet. Each swarm also provides short-range teleportation. From the gift Larian posted, this range looks to be about 5 meters or 15 feet. Again, this looks nothing like the Swarm Keeper from 5th edition and seems to have a lot more cool stuff going on, so I can't wait to play it. Rogues will receive this Swashbuckler. Blind enemies with your Pocket Sand. Disarm enemies by flicking a weapon at them. And Use your fancy footwork passive to prevent enemies from making opportunity attacks against you. In 5th edition, Swashbucklers also got an initiative bonus equal to the charisma modifier. Larian could add something similar, but will probably reduce the bonus to +3 like they did with the Gloomstalker's Dread Ambusher, since initiative in Baldur's Gate 3 has a much smaller range. Sorcerers will receive Shadow Magic. You'll receive increased dark vision and the ability to shadow walk between dim light and darkness. You'll also be able to summon the Hound of Ill Omen to harass foes and use Strength of the Grave to prevent yourself from being downed. In 5th edition, the Hound of Ill Omen was really powerful since it gave nearby enemies disadvantage on saving throws against spells you cast. I hope it'll be the same for Baldur's Gate 3. Additionally, in 5th edition, Shadow Sorcerers could also cast the Darkness spell using sorcery points and see through it normally, similar to the Devil's Sight Eldritch Invocation. I wonder if Larian will incorporate some of this since enemy vision through darkness was always a bit finicky. Warlocks will receive the Hexblade. Curse enemies and force their souls to do your bidding. When you slay an enemy that isn't an elemental, construct, ooze, or undead, you'll be able to raise their spirits from the corpses for 10 turns. This new summon deals necrotic damage and steals life from the enemy's soul to heal you. In 5th edition, the Hexblade's curse provided powerful buffs for your attacks against one enemy, such as increased damage to damage rolls, increased critical hit range, and healing if they die. I wonder if Larian will add this curse because it might make a few of their bosses much easier to handle. Additionally, in 5th edition, the Hexblade was an extremely powerful dip for sorcerers because of their ability to wear medium armor and shields, along with the powerful Eldritch Blast cantrip and early Warlock Eldritch invocations. If Larian decides to give Hexblades medium armor and shield proficiency, it'll be a powerful dip for any sorcerer who wants better defenses and better consistent damage. Finally, wizards will receive the Bladesinger. Use your Bladesong ability to temporarily gain supernatural speed, agility, focus, and a bonus to Constitution saving throws. Also, expect new spellcasting animations when casting spells with your weapon. All this looks to be in line with the Bladesinger in 5th edition, where the Bladesong ability gave wizards a bonus to their AC equal to their intelligence modifier, increased their walking speed by 10 feet, gave them advantage on acrobatic checks, and gave a bonus to Constitution saving throws equal to their intelligence modifier. If the Abjuration subclass helps wizards take more damage, the Bladesinger subclass helps wizards avoid taking damage. And there it is, the latest news of patch 8 for Baldur's Gate 3. Larian says it'll be their last major patch, and it looks like to be one of their biggest yet with these 12 new subclasses. It's a little sad seeing the end of Baldur's Gate 3 development, but all good things must come to an end. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and take care everybody.